Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today, and it is over. The fight is over. And when I say it like that, I can't help but think of the arena on Terrace in KOTOR, but I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, Xbox finally officially owns Activision Blizzard King. Sigh of relief, whether you were for the deal or against it. I respect your perspective, but I think we can all come to agree that putting this deal behind us, stopping us being financial analysts, ending the regulatory analysis, and being gamers once more is something we can all rejoice, because that's what we're going to talk about today. The too long didn't read of today's video is Xbox has a massive content pipeline now between their first party, Bethesda, and Activision Blizzard, as well as third-party deals. There is no longer any excuses on why this company cannot deliver multiple exclusive games per year to the fans of the platform, alongside a ton of day one Game Pass games. We'll talk about that alongside an Xbox Wire post from Phil Spencer and the future of Bobby Kotick as CEO at Activision Blizzard King. But ladies and gentlemen, it's over, and let's talk about now what's happening earnestly with a degree of finality in the future of Xbox and Activision. If you're new here and you're into Xbox news and information, updates on Activision, we've been doing this since the deal was announced, and for Xbox news long before that, so consider subscribing. Let's begin with the Xbox Wire post from Phil Spencer. It does set the table for the rest of the conversation I want to have, but also we're not going to read the whole thing because a lot of it is, I'm going to be frank here, hot air. Phil talking about getting an epic streak in Candy Crush. It's like, okay, I'm going to spare the audience that, and we're going to get down to brass tacks. What affects us as gamers? I want to start off with these three paragraphs, and then we'll talk. Together, we'll create new worlds and stories, bring your favorite games to more places so more players can join in, and we'll engage with and delight players in new innovative ways in the places they love to play, including mobile, cloud streaming, and more. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit more in the final paragraph, but a lot of people read this and think, oh, Nintendo, PlayStation, we're not getting left behind. And I think for the big hitters like Call of Duty, maybe Overwatch, and so on and so forth, if they do anything new with that, I don't think Xbox is going to take those away. But this is absolutely about the Game Pass app and bringing it to more screens, more smart TVs, more phones, more tablets, and eventually more systems. I think the deal is going to be, oh, you want these games, PlayStation, oh, you want these games, Nintendo, put the Game Pass app on your platform and anyone can have them. He also mentions mobile here, which is something that I've said time in, time out, as excited as I am as a console player who is thinking of all of the old IP that we can dig up from Activision and reactivate. The reality is that Xbox got Activision Blizzard King because of mobile. If you look at any of the leaked emails when Xbox was going on a shopping spree, they were analyzing the mobile department of every company after Bethesda. That's why they were looking at Warner Bros. That's why they were looking at Square Enix, especially. That's why they were looking at Sega. And that's why they ended up with Activision Blizzard King, because not of AB, while those are very helpful and will definitely bone up Game Pass, will bone up the console platform, PC. It's about King, who's going to give you Candy Crush money, and that can fund all of your little AAA initiatives, your little experimental games. So it's going to be a really great revenue stream for them, given how much money that thing prints. But that's what the deal was about, because Xbox has been wanting to bone up their mobile pipeline for a while. But let's talk a little bit more about what else Phil Spencer wrote here. He says, players have always been at the center of everything we do, and as we grow, we'll continue to keep players at the heart of it all. We'll continue to listen to your feedback, build a community where you can be yourself, where developers can do their best work, and continue to make really fun games. As promised, we will also continue to make games available in more places, and that begins by enabling cloud streaming providers and players to stream Activision Blizzard games in the European Economic Area, a commitment made to the European Commission. Today, we start that work to bring beloved Activision, Blizzard, and King franchises to Game Pass and other platforms. We'll share more about when you can expect to play games in the coming months. We know you're excited, and we are too. In conclusion, he writes, for the millions of fans who love Activision, Blizzard, and King games, we want you to know that today is a good day to play. You are the heart and soul of these franchises, and we are honored to have you as part of our community. Whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, you are welcome here and will always remain welcome, even if Xbox isn't where you play your favorite franchise. Because when everyone plays, we all win. We believe our news today will unlock a world of possibilities for more ways to play. Thank you for the ongoing support. We have so much more to come in the months ahead. I'm excited for the future and cannot wait to share it with you. So yeah, no Game Pass games right off the rip. I imagine if they do a roundtable, they don't mention any of that here in this Xbox Wire post, but I imagine they'll eventually get together, and whenever they do some sort of celebration stream or announcement or whatever it's going to be, I don't think it's going to just suddenly drop into the service. They're going to make, as Xbox always does, a bit of an event about it, call some attention to it, and so on and so forth. And so I believe that within the next month, we'll at least see the first batch of games come into the service. I think given the massive pipeline Activision Blizzard King has, you have to take an honest look at all these games and decide what you need to drip feed, what will go in where. I mean, they're going to make spreadsheets and decide what will be good during what month. And I think lead this to as I said yesterday in our video, a drip feed that will be much longer term than what we got with Bethesda, where Bethesda was 2 massive dumps of games and we were done. I think they're going to want to stretch this one out and continue to add Activision games over time to the platform. But if you noticed in the final paragraph, Phil says that whether you play on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, or mobile, you're welcome here and will remain welcome even if Xbox isn't where you play your favorite franchise. This just goes back to what I'm saying. This is all, to me, indicators that, oh, with this deal, we're going to unlock a new world of possibilities. To me, this says we have a big bargaining chip in Call of Duty, and we're going to use that to get these console manufacturers to bend the knee and bring Game Pass onto their platforms, hopefully. I think as Xbox, this isn't the last publisher they're going to gobble up. As they continue to do so, they're going to try to chew away at parts of the industry to get their app anywhere they please, because eventually it'll be undeniable for some of these platform holders. I think Nintendo will, as I've said before, be the first to bend the knee and say, all right, we'll bring you on board. I don't know if Xbox gets anything in return with that, but I do think that's where Game Pass will end up first in the terms of the big 3. But yeah, to me, this is all about getting that Game Pass app onto these different platforms. That's how you're going to experience a lot of these exclusive games. And that's what Phil means by, hey, you're always welcome in our community, even if you don't always play your favorite games on Xbox, because they're like, you can play it on PlayStation, you can play it on Switch, just as long as the big corps allow you to. As for the reaction, Jason Schreier wrote on Twitter, he spoke to several Activision Blizzard employees this week who were all very excited for this deal to go through. It sounds like it'll be done by next week, if not today. And I'm very curious to see how Xbox handles operations moving forward, especially at Blizzard, which I agree with. Let's not overshadow the whole part of, like, there was a lot of legal issues, harassment problems, cultural issues deeply rooted within Activision Blizzard King. Xbox is definitely up to here in problems to manage beyond video game content. And so I think a lot of Activision Blizzard employees are excited because naturally they think this may breathe new life into the company and that there may be a culture shift, a strong culture shift, which is something that Phil does speak on at the top of the post, where he does mention something along the lines of, we're an inclusive place and we want to bring everybody into the fold. So yeah, this is something that Xbox is going to have to handle that will naturally turn into a disaster for them if things don't iron out, because just like they learned with Bethesda, where a massive failure in Redfall was a massive failure for Xbox, even if it was for the most part I put this in quotes, Bethesda game, even though Xbox had plenty of time to get involved. Xbox was caught off guard by that reaction. Well, now you know, and any other disasters that happen within the walls of Activision Blizzard King, guess whose feet the blame falls at? Xbox. So I hope they are well aware of that. But otherwise, we got one last little news bit here, and then we'll talk games. So this email here is from Bobby Kotick to all ABK employees, and at the bottom it says, I have long said that I'm fully committed to helping with the transition. Phil has asked me to stay on as CEO of ABK, reporting to him, and we have agreed that I will do that through the end of 2023. We both look forward to working together on a smooth integration for our teams and players. So yeah, Bobby Kotick is in the fold at least till the end of the year, and it's going exactly as we expected. Integrate, get everything nice and ready to go, and then by 2024, he'll announce his retirement, and it'll probably be a couple months before he's officially out of there. Otherwise, though, let's talk games, right? That's the big part of all of this, and we've delayed long enough, haven't we? So I look at this portfolio that Xbox has, and again, I gotta reiterate, just for anyone from Xbox watching, to send this message all the way to the top, and I hope by this point they know, but I'll say it anyway, there is no more excuses, okay? From the fan perspective, you own so much, a stupid amount of content. There is no excuse for another 2022. There's no excuse for the first half barren wasteland of content that always happens with Xbox fans. They are expecting things like they have been in 2023. Nice year-round cadence. Maybe not every game for everybody. Like, not everyone's going to play Minecraft Legends. Not everyone's going to play Forza Motorsport. Not everyone's going to play Redfall. But the amount of content that was there is what people have been looking for a while. And the fact that most of it was of a higher quality in Hi-Fi Rush, Starfield, Minecraft Legends, as well as Forza Motorsport, I think that is what fans want more than anything, is knowing that we can count on consistent exclusive content. I mean, that's what's gotten Xbox snake bitten for the last generation and a half, is they're just not delivering enough consistently. And now it's no longer the, woe is Xbox, oh man, I really hope that they can figure it out this year. It's like, no, now they have to. Now you have to. There's no more excuses. There is a litany of IP that you could pluck from and make announcements for. There's a litany of IP and teams and talent that want to work on different things. You have the resources. You have to use them. I'm not expecting, like I didn't expect with Bethesda as well, this immediate impact, but stranger things have happened, right? When you look at 2023 and what Bethesda has done for this company, Xbox, you think of Hi-Fi Rush, you think of Starfield, and yes, even Redfall you throw in the mix there. Take those out and look at 2023, and what do you get from Xbox? You get Forza and Minecraft, which is what you've got for so long. So these acquisitions are super necessary to their business, because the teams that they've been working with that they bought 5-6 years ago almost now, those ones have been cooking for so long. South of Midnight, Hellblade 2, and so on and so forth. Like, they've been working on this for what feels like eons now, right? And they haven't had any other answers beyond racing, the occasional first-person shooter in Halo, or third-person shooter in Gears, and your Minecraft, like, as we always call it on Defining Duke, your burger, fries, and shakes combo, right? It's the same thing, in and out, all reliable. But now it's time for a new age of content, and this should mark that. This should absolutely mark that. I think of getting the old Marvel license activated somehow, and getting Ultimate Alliance back, getting games right next to me here. Look at this entire stack of, by the way, we're working on a retro rebound video, of Spider-Man games here. And outside of the two here on the bottom in Miles Morales and Spider-Man PS4, like, all of these are Activision games. And I think it would be amazing if Xbox found a way to talk to Disney, to talk to Lucasfilm, and get those activated. To bring those back would be incredible, in my opinion. The Transformers games, Prototype, Tony Hawk, Spyro, Crash. I mean, just in backwards compatibility, there is a mountain of potential before we talk about what's to come. Like, I think that Blizzard survival game Odyssey, I do think that's going to be marked as an exclusive. I do think Xbox is going to do what they did with Bethesda, where the report said otherwise at first, but we learned over time, oh, Redfall was supposed to go to other platforms. Starfield was originally going to be PlayStation exclusive at one point. I mean, these were things in the works, and Xbox came in and took it all to themselves. We also learned that Hi-Fi Rush was in that same bag. Like, these were all going to come to multi-plat, and no longer is that the case. So I think we're going to see a little bit of that reaction exclusivity from Xbox, but I'm curious to see how they apply lessons learned from their relationship and connection to Bethesda and utilize it here with Activision. And naturally, I'm excited to see the Game Awards, if any announcements arrive there, on top of a developer direct at some point this year, or maybe probably the top of 2024, to really set the tone for what's to come. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. But those are my thoughts on the deal closing for Activision Blizzard King. It's finally over. You can breathe a sigh of relief that we can talk about other things like video games. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Are you excited about the deal? Are you down on the deal? Do you have faith in the console side of things? Or do you think this is truly going to be all mobile, all BlizzardNet, all PC, all that fun stuff? Let me know down below. Other than that, take excellent care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.